Wow, WarioWare is on the Nintendo Switch. I cannot believe it. This game is. Ah! Where am I? Is that my couch? Am I in the TV? Wario? Wario, what are you? Oh my gosh, big fan, Wario. Actually, I can't really say I'm a big fan. I only played one of your games, but it's really nice to meet you, Wario. Wario, I don't know what you're saying to me, man. I have literally no clue. This is why they have subtitles when you're talking, because no one understands what you're saying when you're like, whoa, la, la, la. No one knows what that means, dude. Wait, what's on the floor? Wait a second, I think I know what you're trying to tell me. You want me to review WarioWare for the Nintendo Switch. Well, funny enough, I was just playing the game, and you know what? I think I will do a review for this game. You know, I reviewed every Nintendo Switch game that Nintendo's made this year, and you know, I think that's what you're trying to tell me. You're making smiles and stuff, so I'm going to assume that that's what you meant that you wanted me to do. So you know what, Wario? I will go ahead and do that. How do I get out of here, though?
Hey, what's up everyone? MonadoMax here, and today we're talking about probably what was one of the most unexpected Nintendo Switch releases of the year. And what that is WarioWare Get It Together. So the thing about the WarioWare series is I've actually never played a Wario game before in my life. I'm a big fan of the Wii U, and I never even played the Game & Wario game that came out on there. The Wario series is something that I was always interested in, as a lot of my friends always told me, hey Max, you should play WarioWare. And surprisingly, we got a WarioWare game that came out this year for the Nintendo Switch. So what are my thoughts on it? Let's get right into it. So something that I learned with the WarioWare games is not all of them have story modes, from my understanding. This one over here does have a story mode, and the story mode, basically, with no spoilers, the context is Wario created this game with all of his friends, these bugs came in, and like somehow he got teleported into his own game, and him and his friends, they have to find the rest of the friends, defeat the bugs, and fix the game. That's pretty much what the story is. Now, in terms of the amount of levels and just how long the story is, I will go ahead and let you know that the story, I believe, was about a little over 3 hours. I beat it in 3 hours. And, you know, there's some people that will be like, wait, 3-hour game? But, you know, the story mode really isn't the main feature of the WarioWare series, and we'll get into that later. But I do want you guys to know what you guys are getting into. If you decide to buy the game and you're just a single player guy, it's a 3-hour story, so just keep that in mind when buying the game. And you know, I was talking about playing the game by yourself, and surprisingly, this is really fun to play by yourself. I was kind of expecting it to be one of those games that you had to have people around you to really enjoy it, and while I don't have people around me right now because of COVID to really fully enjoy the game, I played this game fully single player, all the modes in it, and I had a lot of fun, surprisingly. And from the outside, this game looks more like a multiplayer game, and it is more of a multiplayer game, but there is stuff for you if you are only single player. It was a lot of fun playing by myself. You know, I wanted to talk about one of the levels that I thought was so cool. There is this one level in the story mode where you're literally joining up in the Nintendo universe, playing so many mini games throughout the Nintendo universe. Like at one point you're in the world of Breath of the Wild, at one point you're in the Pikmin world, at one point you're in the Donkey Kong world. Like, I don't know how many of those mini games are in here, but that was really cool going through a WarioWare game and seeing all of these Nintendo games in the game. Like Ice Climbers. I was surprised to see Ice Climbers used, because I mean, to be honest, you don't really hear the Ice Climbers talked about much rather than Smash Bros. So that is pretty cool that Nintendo would go ahead and reference one of their older games, and I bet there's even older games that I didn't even get to because there's so much replayable value here in WarioWare. While there is a lot of replayable value in WarioWare Get It Together, there's some issues here, and one really big issue that if this game had it, this game would be such a huge game. It'd be well, I don't know if it'd be such a huge game, but this game would be super, super fun if they had this mode, and that was online play. I don't understand why Nintendo doesn't have online play into this game. You know, it really seemed like this year and the last previous years, Nintendo was finally realizing that Wi-Fi was a thing, and they started putting online in games that should have already had online, like Super Mario 3D World. That was a game that was re-released on the Nintendo Switch this year, and a lot of people wanted online play for that game, and guess what Nintendo did? They put online in that, and it was the funnest thing ever. This has no online, and it literally makes no sense why there is no online. There is one little online feature in this game, and that's sharing your score with your friends. That is the crappiest feature ever. Nintendo, you're acting like you're living in the 2000s where no one was really doing much with the internet. This next WarioWare game, if there is another next WarioWare game, there needs to be online play, or even add online play to this as a free update. You guys did that with Mario Party, you're doing that with the next Mario Party. This is one of those games that would really benefit off online play. And I honestly know some people that didn't pick up this game because there was no online play. And I think that's going to be a huge missed opportunity for WarioWare in its future on the Nintendo Switch, because this game is so much fun, and it could be way more fun if you had the access to play online. Because let's be real, we're still in a pandemic, things are getting better, but not everyone's gonna have the option to bring friends along into their house to play the game, and having the online option is great. And it's just so disappointing to see Nintendo not put online in this, because they were starting to get so smart. And in case you guys were wondering just how many mini games there are into WarioWare Get It Together, there is over 200. And I probably, in my time playing, probably only got to see 100 of those games. So it's going to be really interesting to see the other 100, and I'm more interested to see how many other Nintendo franchises they put into WarioWare. I know there was like Rhythm Heaven and stuff in there, so that's really cool. WarioWare Get It Together is definitely one of those games that I'm gonna be bringing a lot whenever I can start going to parties again, hanging out with friends. Once we get into a place where that happens again, this is one of those games I'm bringing with me. And I know this is gonna be a very popular game when I go to gaming parties. So if you are somebody that likes to play games with friends and always, like, if you're a Mario Party guy, while the two games are different, I think you should look into WarioWare as a game if you're looking for games to play with friends. And obviously there's no online, so you gotta make sure it's in person. But this is one of those games you should consider getting, because it's definitely one I'm bringing every time I go to parties. It's probably going to be the funnest game ever whenever I can start playing this game with my friends. So one interesting move by Nintendo, which I'm really surprised they did this, and it's good that they're doing this. This was actually their third release this year that they decided, hey, we're not putting it as a $60 game. Now, we didn't get too crazy. Nintendo made this a $50 game, but it's still $10 cheaper than the regular $60. So we're starting to get somewhere with Nintendo. So I know the question's going to be, is this game worth the $50? So I'm going to be honest with you. As of right now, for me, it was not worth the $50. You gotta remember, I'm still following the pandemic rules. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not playing with friends. And with no online, I'm just stuck playing the single player stuff, and this is a game that's supposed to have that multiplayer fun. That's where you get the true amount of fun in. So if you're somebody like me, that you're just going to be the only guy playing this game really isn't for you, in my opinion. Now, once we get back into the world where we can start doing parties and stuff, this game is for sure worth the $50. And if Nintendo ever actually does a free online mode, then this game is definitely worth the $50. Maybe there's a possibility Nintendo does add an online mode, because 2 years later, after Mario Party was released, actually I think it was like almost 3 years actually, they were like, hey, here's a free online update out of nowhere. So maybe they'll add online play into this eventually. So it all depends who you are as a person, if this game is worth it to you. And especially if you're a fan of the character Wario. If you're a fan of the character Wario, then WarioWare, you should definitely pick it up. So that leaves me with my score of the game. I'm giving WarioWare Get It Together for the Nintendo Switch a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of positives with this game, but there's a lot of negatives, or there's not really much negatives, it's just there's missing things that could make this game so high. If this had online play, I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if I would have gave this game maybe a 9 out of 10. Without that online, you can't play this game that much because when you're just playing by yourself, it starts to get stale. When you have friends along the way, it's going to make it a really fun game. Well guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out all my stuff in the description below, and also I want to know what you guys are thinking. Did you pick up WarioWare? Do you like it? Do you also wish there was online play? I don't know, I want to know everything you guys are thinking about the game. So let me know in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Alright, Wario, I finished reviewing WarioWare, so how do I get out of this TV? Wario? Wario, you there? Dude?